What is up, everybody? Matt Moda here with the first Dong report of the 2025 MLB season. So we have a two-game mini series in Tokyo going on between the Dodgers and the Cubs. Of course, we had to send Ohtani to Tokyo to have him show out in front of his home crowd. I'm going to have two home run picks for you guys to lock in for this game tomorrow. It's at 6:10 a.m. Eastern, so just a reminder that if you want to lock in these home runs, do it probably before you go to sleep tonight, as opposed to when you wake up, unless you're like me and you wake up really early. But I'm pretty pumped to have baseball back. I don't necessarily think I'm going to do a daily Dong report for the month of April. I'll probably do it starting in May, but I did just want to get out something for this two-game mini series. Last year, just to give you guys some info, it's my real, not fake bets spreadsheet. The Dong report, honestly, kind of similar to this year's NBA season. It was a struggle. You know, we started off the year horribly. We were down 20 units in the month of April alone, just could not get anything going. Ended the year up 18 units in 18.64 units, which is not the most amazing season you'll ever hear. I'm proud of the way that we were able to finish. I'm talking like I'm a head coach, but after the way the season started, I'm glad that we are at least up, and up 18 units isn't terrible. The year before that, 2023, amazing. 61 units of profit on the Dong report, incredible. Total ROI on the Dong report, and then this includes 2023 and 2024, just under 10%. So not bad when it comes to that. Pretty confident in what we have going on, and we can get right into it. So what we have here is, again, Dodgers versus Cubs. The first thing that I want to highlight here, and the first guy that we're locking in here, now actually I pull up Outlier, which I use to kind of help with some stuff, is Teoscar Hernandez. Now, when I locked him in, I got it at plus 400. It's now down at plus 390. I play these for a quarter unit each. You want to play them light to start the season. You don't want to do what I did last year and just blow your bankroll at the beginning of the year. So I only put a quarter unit on each of them. It was plus 400 and moved down to plus 390. I'm still good taking it there. Now, what I have up on the screen here is Ballpark Pal, and I want to highlight the matchup here. Shota Imanaga. Very, very good pitcher, but there's two areas that I think we can have an advantage with for betting on him, or players to hit a home run against him. Number one, he's a lefty, so you want to look at batters that are good against left-handed hitters. Number two, he throws a fastball over 50% of the time. So Shota Imanaga, you want to look at guys that can hit fastballs from lefties really well. Teoscar Hernandez is one of them. Now, Imanaga is, he's a good pitcher, but last year he gave up 27 home runs, which is a decent amount. 17 of those 27 home runs were hit off of right-handed hitters, specifically off of his fastball. That's over half off of that one pitch, righty, from a fastball. Teoscar Hernandez, very good against the fastball. And what I like is you hover over the matchup here. It's slightly in favor of Teoscar Hernandez per Ballpark Pal. D matchup for Teoscar, B matchup for Teoscar, D matchup for Shota against him. But there are two things that I wanted to highlight here. Number one, and this I'm just putting full faith in Ballpark Pal for being correct. We see that Teoscar Hernandez is an A+ versus left-handed hitters, and he seems to be, he's an A- in both the release point of where Imanaga throws it. So like high versus where it is vertically and horizontally, A- in each category. Take that for what you will. If you want to put full faith into Ballpark Pal, you can. But one thing that I did want to highlight here, four-seam fastball, A+, Teoscar Hernandez. That's a good sign. 52% of his pitches are four-seam fastballs, as I mentioned. The exit velocity. Shota Imanaga allowed balls hit above 100 miles per hour, 1% higher than typical MLB rate. That's not terrible. It's a little bit higher than average. Launch angle, Teoscar Hernandez, Shota Imanaga, that's what the word I'm looking for, allowed batters to hit at a 3.3% higher rate between 29 and 38 degrees. That's like the sweet spot in terms of home runs. Now this is a little bit of, they have Teoscar Hernandez on here twice. One of them should say Shota Imanaga, but either way, above average in terms of the launch angle allowed. So those are the things that are in favor of Teoscar Hernandez. What I'm looking at here is players versus, I have it's a website called Game Day Insights. It's very, very nerd stat heavy. So I'll show you the important stuff. We're looking at home runs hit versus left-handed pitching. Now, Shohei Ohtani's number one. He's a stud. I get it. He's amazing. Number two here is Teoscar Hernandez, who has really, really good numbers against left-handed hitting. We look at ISO rate. We just do minimum at-bats 5. We take out these guys that had 1, 1, and 3 at-bats. We see Teoscar Hernandez is number 2 on the Dodgers in terms of ISO rate against left-handed pitching. Now, we knew he wanted to target a righty as well, but this is just looking at all of them. ISO rate of 272. Anything that is 25% and above is considered excellent. So 27%, really good. Hit 289, which is good. 400 WOBA, which is good. 965 OPS, which is good. These are a lot of nerd stats. The important thing for home runs specifically that I want to show you, 12.72% barrel rate. Anything between 10 and 15% is considered good. Anything 15% and above is considered great. So the 10 to 15%, that's good. Above 50% hard hit rate is very good. And a line drive plus fly ball rate of about 50%, which is also good. Now we're looking at against four-seam fastballs specifically. ISO rate, not quite the second best on the Dodgers, but of right-handed hitters, second best. And that ISO rate goes up to 31.7%. That's really good. Average, slightly up as well, 293. Barrel rate goes up to 19.5%. Hard hit rate actually does go slightly down. And the line drive and fly ball rate, the line drive rate went down, the fly ball rate went up. So Teoscar Hernandez hits lefties well, hits four-seam fastballs off of lefties well, and we know that four-seam fastballs are what Shota Imanaga throws 50% of the time. Our second guy, Tommy Edman. You want to know who was number one in all these categories? Tommy Edman, number one against left-handed hitters, number one against fastballs from left-handed hitters. He just smoked lefties. Now, I locked in Tommy Edman. I got a better price. He was plus 800 when I bet it. It went down to plus 680. It's because Mookie Betts got ruled out. And it was also plus 800 at Fanatics. So I would check Fanatics. Unfortunately, they're not pulled here on on outlier.bet. But I would make sure to check Fanatics because they had plus 800. If you look at Ballpark Pal, things don't look quite as good for Tommy Edman as they do Teoscar Hernandez. Granted, it's plus 390 odds versus plus 400, which makes sense. Or, excuse me, plus 800. B matchup for Tommy Edman, C matchup for Imanaga, so it's a little bit better for Imanaga. What I want to highlight here, same thing. Versus left-handed pitching, A+. Versus his release point, A+ in terms of to first base, and then in terms of how high it is, B. So not quite as good as Teoscar Hernandez, but still pretty good, especially A+ on this side. Again, I know these are a little bit confusing, but we just kind of have to trust Ballpark Pal that they're pulling in the correct numbers. And then same thing here, A+ versus a four-seam fastball, which is what he will see 52% of the time. He's also an A against the slider, which he's going to see only 8% of the time. And then we don't have enough data on him versus splitters. That's why it's a question mark, because we don't know. But we go back to game day insights here. I mean, look at what he did against left-handed pitching. So he hit, just to give you guys some context here, Tommy Edman, we see that he hit 8 home runs in 62 at-bats against left-handed hitters, right? Or left-handed pitchers, excuse me. You want to see how many home runs he hit on the year? You want to look at how he did against right-handed pitching? So he's actually a pinch hitter, so we need to take off the right-handed hitter label. But he hit 3 home runs against right-handed pitching in 177 at-bats. So he hit 8 home runs in 62 against lefties, 3 home runs in 177 against lefties, which is just insane. So Tommy Edman, really, really good against left-handed pitching. He literally led the Dodgers in ISO rate. He led the Dodgers in OPS. He led the Dodgers in WOBA, and he was technically second in batting, or no, he was first in batting average as well. His barrel rate is not quite what we look for, 9.68%. That's not amazing, but his hard hit rate of 56% is very good. Line drive plus fly ball rate of just under 60% is very good. And against four-seam fastballs specifically, even better. 5 of his 8 home runs against lefties were hit off of the four-seam fastball. Barrel rate, a very good number. That's what we want to see. Barrel rate of 16.67%. That's awesome. Hard hit rate of 62%. That's awesome. And a line drive plus fly ball rate of what's this, like 90%. The numbers for him against lefties are absolutely insane. And if he did it in a limited sample size, which is why we're getting the odds at the way we are. I mean, it's only 62 at bats against lefties, but he's significantly better against lefties. And I absolutely think that this is worth hitting. So that is our second and final Dong report pick of the video. So these were the numbers that I was able to lock it in at: 400 for Teoscar Hernandez, 800 for Tommy Edman. So we win both of these bets, and let's hope that happens. We profit 3 units in the Dong report yesterday. So let's hope that happens. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have some links in the description of the video. Link to outlier.bet if you want to use the tool. I think it's really helpful. I also have a link to my Tails account, which is where I send out all my plays. The odds here, 400 and 800, were first sent out to Tails, so they were able to lock in these prices before they changed. The same plays you see me give out for free on both YouTube and Twitter are the same plays you get early on my Tails account. Like I said, you just get them early. So you get everything I'm playing sent too early. But that's all we got. 2 Dong picks for you guys to lock in. I appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe. Make sure to bet responsibly, and have a good one.